It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Clayton's defensive back, Isaiah Managa. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Brandon?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you got started in playing football in high school at Clayton?
I've always played football, so it was kind of just like I've always been forward to playing football in high school, so I just kind of hopped straight in from 8th grade, and I came right at the right time because that's right. I think that was the peak of our program.
How did you know that you wanted to play football in high school and get recruited, to play in college?
Just because I was determined. I had that grit. No one had to really. I was that dude that say for instance, no one had to wake me up to go work out. No one had to wake me up to go to practice. I just had that fire on my own.
Can you talk about playing strong safety and outside linebacker for Clayton?
My first few years, I kind of been playing free safety, but I put on so they kind of moved me closer to the line, more in the box.
How does it feel to play on defense? Were you always a defensive player growing up?
Previous years, I was both sides. I would play. I just alternate. I play receiver, running back, tight end, just kind of wherever they put me. But kind of in high school, I kind of specialized. They just put me on defense because that's where they see me best fit. But this year, I'm playing both sides. So yeah, y'all get a chance.
Can you talk about what some of the traditions at Clayton is for the football program? I know I've been following them for a few years now, and I see that y'all have amazing traditions. What are those traditions?
I would say the weight room. The weight room is kind of like a sacred place at Clayton. The weight room is kind of that thing that we don't play around with it, And yeah, you don't step on the seat. Before the tunnel, everyone's got to touch the seat. Yeah.
Are there any other traditions? For example, if somebody scores a touchdown, do y'all wear this touchdown belt or something like that?
My sophomore year, we started a tradition of the turnover chain. So if you get a turnover, you get to wear the chain.
Have you ever had a turnover in your career at Clayton to wear the chain?
Yeah, I've got to wear the chain before.
How does that feel to wear the chain?
It's just a just on a Friday night, everyone's out. It's you just made the big play, and it's your blood is pumping, and then you get on the bleachers, and you put the chain on, and the crowd goes crazy. It's an unmatched feeling.
Can you talk about what you've achieved in your years playing for Clayton?
My goal is a state championship. So I don't think I'll achieve nothing, but I'll say my biggest achievement is getting a scholarship.
Speaking about that, can you talk about the schools that you've been recruited by?
Yeah, I have an offer from Wofford College, North Carolina A&T, and Army West Point.
Can you talk about the official visits and how that was like going to Wofford College and Army?
I kind of started getting recruited at a weird period. So the period I started getting recruited at was kind of the start of Corona. So I haven't even got a chance to visit, but I'm looking forward.
Can you talk about the experience receiving your first offer and how that was like?
It's just kind of a heartwarming experience, just putting in all the work. It's it finally gets acknowledged.
What do you plan to accomplish in your senior year at Clayton?
Definitely a state championship. I feel like we got the team to do it this year too.
Can you talk about receiving the invite to the World Bowl?
Yeah, it was. I was definitely blessed to receive that invitation, but I ain't get the chance to attend it.
Was that due to coronavirus affecting?
Um, yeah, Corona hard to do with it, but I just it's those things where like it's some things that I was just trying to prevent injury, and it's just one of those things where a lot of camps are just kind of like like not a necessity. So
Do you see yourself getting more invites in your senior year to things like
um,
that?
I mean, I committed, so I'm not really sweating over stuff like that. But it's definitely some things that are on my bucket list, like the Shrine Bowl. I'm definitely aiming to be a part of that, even though I think they're still honoring people, like making a list or whatever.
Can you talk about committing to Wofford and how that was like?
I felt like the offer it definitely came at like the perfect time, and I just felt like it was the best fit for me, and all around, because I felt like they're kind of school where it's like it wasn't really any gimmicks, because like often with recruiting, recruiting a lot of times it's like a lot of people are looking for the wrong things, or it's just hard to find like the place that's like truly like home. So I felt like I finally found that, so I wasn't really scared to pull the trigger.
What are you planning to accomplish in your senior year this upcoming spring since we can't have football in the fall?
Definitely a state championship, nothing less.
Do you see with the impact of not having fall sports, do you think that more people will opt out of like their high school senior year to get prepared for college?
Um, I wouldn't say more people, but I would say it's a select few. Of course, you have probably like your the people that already come, top five guys. They'll probably just try to go with. Oh,
What advice would you give upcoming high school athletes looking to get recruited to the next level?
definitely, I just tell them, just don't cheat the grind, and like you'll know, like if it's not what you want, then if it's not what you want, then don't try it. But if it's what you want, just put in the work, you'll get there.
What do you look forward to accomplishing at Wofford?
Um, definitely a championship. I'm a championship type guy. That's what I aim for always.
What advice would you give a college player entering their first season?
I just tell everything online. It's been a tough year for a lot of people. A lot of it just you got a chance to showcase your talent, just go crazy.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media at?
They can add me on Twitter _Isaiah Managa. They can add me on Instagram one Isaiah Managa. It's a one instead of the I.
Thank
And
you
those are the
again.
only platforms.
Thank you again, Isaiah Managa, for your interview, and best of luck in your senior year at Clayton High School.
Thank you.
You can
Thank you
find
for having
Brandon. You're welcome. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Isaiah, for your interview, and best of luck.
All right, thanks for having me.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.